Scott again here from Impact Fitness. I know a lot of people don't feel that the dumbbells, if they have dumbbells at home, that the dumbbells they have may be heavy enough to do a lot of the exercises they like to do. So I'm going to show you some examples of a way to take a lightweight and make it heavy. I'm going to show you 3 variations of a flat dumbbell chest press. And the principles of each variation can be used on most other movements. The first variation we're going to do is what's called pre-fatigue. Pre-fatigue is basically doing a single joint movement like a fly for chest, immediately followed by a multi-joint movement like a dumbbell press. So that's going to be our first variation. Second is what I call 1.5s. It's essentially just working in a half a rep between each full rep. So if you're doing 10 reps, you'll end up doing 10 full reps and 10 half reps. So your muscles are under tension for quite a bit longer period of time, and that's going to make the exercise a lot harder. The last variation is just called a tempo. And all the tempo is the speed of the movement that you're doing. If you slow the tempo down, you get rid of momentum, makes the exercise harder. You reduce the stretch response in the movement. Basically, muscles are like elastics. As they stretch, they recoil. The better a stretch response, or the better your body is at going from, your muscles are going from a stretch position to a contracted position, the more efficient they are, the more powerful you'll be and the stronger you'll be. But for these purposes, we want to try and get rid of that stretch response to make this harder. And then the last thing when you do a tempo is it takes a while to do the exercise. If you've got a 3 down and 3 up, that takes about 6 seconds to do 1 rep, where a typical rep might take 2 or 3 seconds at most. So you're doubling or even tripling the length of the set. Your muscles are under tension for a long time, and it's going to be really challenging. So I got some 30s here. I've already worked out, so these are probably going to be a little bit heavy for me. But I'm going to go through each of these examples, and then if you have any questions after I post this video, once you see it posted, go ahead and comment to it or DM us. So the first example is a flat fly. So I'm going to keep my elbows slightly crooked. I'm not going to bury my arms way down, but I'm going to go to a point where my pecs get a stretch, so my elbows are a little below parallel with the floor. I'm not one of these guys that bring their head up off the bench as they fly because I want to save wear and tear on my neck. So we're just controlling the speed of the movement, single joint movement, pre-fatiguing the pecs, and now my pecs are tired, so when I go directly in to the dumbbell press, because my pecs are already fatigued, the light weight won't seem quite so light and will challenge my pecs. So that's variation number 1. Variation number 2 is what I call 1.5s, which I already explained. And if you watch, when I lay back, I try not to muscle the weight back when I get into position. I want to save my energy for my set. So I use my legs to get the dumbbells into place. So I'm going to lower, I'm going to work my half rep in, full rep, that's 1. Half rep, full rep, 2. Half rep, full rep, 3. So those are 1.5s. The last variation is just a tempo. I'm just going to do 3 seconds down, a second pause at the bottom, and 3 seconds back up. You can play around with tempo length on your own, but generally tempos are 3 to 5 seconds in each direction. Sometimes you may use a tempo only on the lowering of the movement and then come up, kind of explode up out of the bottom. But for our purposes, we're going to do tempos in both the downward and upward phase. So 3, 2, 1, pause, 3, 2, 1. At the top of the movement, too, be contracting your pecs. You're targeting your pecs, so be flexing and squeezing them throughout the set. 3, 2, 1. I can slow it down even a little more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. that is going to make those 30s feel like 80s in a hurry. I had one other point that I wanted to make. Oh yeah, when you're counting on your tempo, it's not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1, 2, 3. Be deliberate with your movement. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. This is Scott from Impact Fitness. We'll see you soon.